And here we go. Who's gonna do the recap this week?
I can run down my
Don't all go at
notes.
once.
So,
Well,
cabbage
you
noise.
got it.
Yeah. So last time was a very Skippy-centered story point. We went and saw the wizard. He was actually pretty wonderful. I'm gonna be honest. But this is not Oz. So we met the wizard, and he gave us some pretty interesting ideas of what can happen to a tower and how does it disappear. Such as, if it's magic-based, was it dispelled? Mysteries are unfolding. We also met a very nice young wizard man with very small animals that Skippy and him bonded over by changing their colors. We then went to the house where Skippy made a accidental summoning of his friend Temperance after long deliberations just about the world, about what's going on, a lot of lore coming along, as well as introduction to our newest friend, the cabbage. It's getting bigger, and I think we can acknowledge it now. No other plant-based people that I can think of. Some kid invaded our cart, whose name is Leaf, and she's actually going to be joining us for a good period of time. Hello, Leaf.
At
Leaf
least
and
for a little while.
Leaf and Dustin almost stole pigs, but didn't go as planned.
Did you really?
Yeah, we
Almost.
tried.
You were there for
We were
that?
so close.
What? Okay, that's another thing that we're going to recap here in a little bit. So we learned a lot about Temperance's doll, and that the curse on it is a lot stronger than originally anticipated. And on top of all that, Skippy put the bird moves on with Esmeralda?
No.
NPCs, Old Meadow,
Inarial Banes.
Inarial Banes.
You should keep track of NPCs in your notes.
I keep track of the rules that Xanroar and Temperance give me in my notes. After a very lovely dinner, well, I guess we didn't actually have dinner, but we had a few drinks. Skippy didn't. And a lot of very interesting insights happening with magic. We decided that we would come back and meet around this pond and talk about the not kidnapping that we are committing tonight. Did I miss any big points?
I think there was some attempted stealth occurring that didn't quite go as planned with Dustin. But
We just wanted a baby pig. We almost got
well,
there.
I mean, you
in
were
one
trying to like peer into like the tavern, and it didn't really go.
Oh yeah. I don't know if that was last or the one before. But I did. Dustin got introduced to Leaf. Dustin went and got Leaf some supplies. And then went and got a bite to eat. What else happened? Yeah, I think that's about it, really. If anyone else has anything to add.
I got some work done on my enchantments. Help from the other guy who was staying there, Liam.
Oh yeah, we met Spellhammer.
We did Spellhammer. He is a wizard from the ocean with lots of tattoos and a gruff exterior, but I feel like that's gonna really make it that much better when he becomes best friends with Skippy.
I think he kind of respected Xanroar.
You got the impression that he thinks you had potential. That's why he helped you.
Yay!
So, okay. We left off. You guys were planning your kidnapping.
Right. So Remind me, because I'm not that smart. What did we just talk about?
We made plans
What?
for tonight.
What were those plans?
We were going to possibly send our new companion in as a creature of some sort to sneak in and wait outside.
Right.
Wait, are you talking about me sending a message to her? Because I can only do that when I've already been in the room before. Like I have to tell the animal where to go, and I can't tell them where to go for which I have not been
I
into there.
I think she was saying that you go in. Can't you turn yourself into such an animal?
No, I cannot.
Oh,
That
I was
sounds
misled then.
pretty dank though, but I can send an animal in to give her
You
a
are a
message.
druid,
That's
are
as
you
far as
not?
Yes, but I don't have wild shape. Wild.
You're level
whatever it's called.
5. You got levels. You got wild shape at level 2.
Did I? Let me look.
Yeah, you should have.
Or
I
is
thought
this
that was only
supposed
for
to
a
be
moon druid.
Am I being heckin' bamboozled right now?
You're bamboozling yourself.
No, you're not. You have wild shade at second level as any druid.
It gets better if you're a moon
Really?
druid, but yeah,
Yeah,
every druid
all
gets one.
druids get it.
I'm just saying, Skippy can also turn himself into stuff. But...
I was about to say,
But
unless
you
you
know,
were trying
like
to,
whatever.
unless you were trying to play it like that, you can't. That's just Leaf, but mechanically you can.
I was gonna say, if this is a character decision, by all means.
Yeah, like I'll turn into whatever. Yeah, I can get in there. I mean, yes, I can definitely do that because I've known that this entire time that I can turn into animals.
We are off to a hot start, folks.
After reading your backstory, that's like on point, though.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I could do this thing.
Right, yes. I have always known that this is something that I can do.
Nope, I'm in the wrong chat.
Are you?
Yeah, that's the one-shot chat.
Wait, no, there it is.
It's
Well,
very helpful.
Here's, should I'm pretty sure we discussed me slipping outside of the cart and waiting for the guys. Is that correct?
Yes, and I was going to cast silence over his bedroom.
Right. All right. What time is it now, DM?
I believe it was getting on late afternoon. It's not dark yet, but you got a couple hours before the sun goes down.
Guys, have anything you guys want to do before we bed down for the night?
Well, we're not exactly bedding down for the full night. Or we could start to rest now, and by the time it's midnight, we would have had a lengthy rest.
We can take maybe a
Perhaps.
short one.
Well,
What if I built a tower out of town, but like on the other side of town from when we're going? So if they try to look for us, they'll look at the tower first.
If you want to use that as a distraction, like as a diversion, we could.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
Maybe put on. I think you said already. Put on the other side, the side that we're going.
Yeah, so I think we're going north, so I'd put it on the south side.
Yeah, that'll work.
Now, can they, if they dispel it, just permanently erase your tower forever?
No.
Well, all right then.
Maybe another good idea it would be to put like a light to show that somebody might be home, so people go after that and know that someone might be there.
Yeah, we can light torches inside.
All right, I think that's a good idea. Is Temperance still out?
She didn't
Yeah,
go back
she's here.
in, I don't believe.
No,
Temperance?
she's still here. She's
Are
just
you doing all right?
yeah, she's just kind of watching all of you all at the moment. She's not nearly as vocal as she usually is about her opinions.
Is there any change from last time Temperance came out? Is there any marking? Is there any, like, is she starting to turn into stone? Like, is there any?
No, that's not. She's kind of always a little wary about it, but there's no like her leg is slowly turning to stone.
All right.
Is she bruised from us dropping the doll and then trying it again from higher?
She's not bruised, but she probably is a little less inclined to go climbing on anything right now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start getting the cart ready. Just reorganizing.
I'll move to the end, like just on the outskirts of the town, and start building a tower and start doing the 10-minute cast.
Cool. All right. We didn't level up between last session, did we?
Nope.
No, that was a joke.
Oh, making sure.
A cruel joke.
Mm.
Go, Skippy's Tower of Friendship and Sweet Rolls.
Kawaii.
It's a misnomer.
Is anybody there when I make the tower? Oh wait, Xanroar, I actually need your help with this. Do you have a iron ingot that I could borrow?
Xanroar looks at you very pointedly. Why?
So it's for something that I'm working on. I would love to explain all of it when everybody's in the tower. But you will get the ingot back, I think. I don't know. Did we lose?
Oh, there's Shelby again.
Sorry, that's my roommate's dog.
Shelby.
Oh, her name is Lucy. But fine. He'll reach into his bag and I better get this back.
Okay. And here I can pay for it, and he'll be like, an iron ingot is worth like 100 gold pieces.
Xenor's just shaking his head. No, Skippy. An iron ingot is worth about 1 silver.
Oh. I only have gold. And copper. I have 98 copper. Oh no, wait, I do have silver. Never mind. Yes. And Skippy will hand Xanroar a silver.
Xanor will hand over one of his 55 iron ingots.
Skippy will take it and fly to the south side of town. And then he will build his tower, but this time instead of wood, it will be metal and shaped differently. Was that in character or?
That was me inquiring, because I didn't know who was going to do something next.
You are.
All right, I guess I am. All right. I'll pet Shelby a little bit, make sure she's all right, make sure she's calm, make sure she knows where she's going. Give a little pep talk. All right, Shelby. All right. You haven't used legs in a while. You gotta get them back up. Just start like doing like a little pat to her legs, like just trying to pep talk her up. I doubt that she'll know what I'm saying, and then I'll start fixing the back of the cart. Does Ara walk up?
She's nearby, kind of propped up against the building, flipping through her book, watching, seeing if you need help.
Is there a barrel? Did we get any barrels? I don't remember if we did or not.
We left empty barrels on our old cart in the woods.
Yeah. It's a long shot, but in the wares shop, is there a barrel big enough for someone to fit in?
In the You want to
in
buy a
the-
barrel?
A big enough barrel for someone to fit in that I think would fit her body just in case.
So just a single barrel? That's a little suspicious, Dustin.
No, I'm gonna buy 2 barrels.
Then no one will be suspicious.
Okay, that's
Or
a
they'll be
little
doubly
barrel.
suspicious.
less.
Is buying a barrel suspicious?
They
Yeah, we're just gonna put our ale in it, right?
Sure.
they don't sell barrels. They sell stuff out of barrels. Like there's a barrel full of like pickles and a barrel full, like like
All right,
buy
they
a
use
barrel filled with
everything.
pickles.
They use everything that they that they have.
Are you
Oh,
telling me there's no Cooper in this town?
I
Disappointing.
will buy 2 barrels of pickles.
Oh god.
We're just gonna yell, buy a barrel of ale.
All right,
I
I'll
mean,
buy one barrel.
he's not at a Cooper. He's at like the general store.
Is there a Cooper? That'd be so cool if there was.
In this town,
Sly Cooper.
probably not.
Sad.
Where's
because
Bentley?
because like I had explained, like they're generally self-sufficient when it comes to like their food and stuff, so they're not sending it anywhere, so they don't really need them. They probably import the barrels that they have. Like the general shop like keeps barrels full of full of stuff that they sell. Like you could come in and get like however many pickles you want and go, but no particular like Cooper or someone who sells or makes them specifically.
All right, I'm gonna go up to the front and I'm gonna say, all right, I'm throwing a giant party, but it's in the other side of town, and I need a lot of pickles, a lot of them. I'm gonna put them in a lot of wine, and I need just the biggest 2, well, not the biggest, but a good size 2 barrels of pickle.
Well, I could give you the pickles, but I need my barrels. Gotta put more pickles in them eventually.
He seems kind of selfish because he just really won't give up these barrels.
But I need the barrels. Do you know where I can possibly find a place that sells barrels so I can transfer 1 barrel to another barrel? And I can either like give you a barrel, or you can put those pickles in this barrel.
Do they have any broken barrels?
We don't really have that kind. I don't personally. You could ask around though. I have what I need.
Fair. Right. Well, thank you. I might be back for the pickles in a second. Give me 1 second. He's gonna run out. And he's going to say shit.
You all right, big man?
Did you get the barrel?
I'm not gonna get the barrels. They need the barrel. All right. Here's what I'm thinking. We'll knock out the sales guy and we'll take the barrels. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right. While
Dustin.
usually I'm all for violence, okay. Perhaps.
I don't see a problem.
Someone.
Okay.
We take
God, there's
their
2 of you
place.
now.
We take
I
their
see a
place.
number of
We
problems.
become them. We steal their life, and now we own a wear shop.
All
I
right.
don't think
Or
that's a bad idea.
alternatively, how about we try to keep our travel light so we can be swift on our feet?
Well, my thought is we don't want her to be seen. We can put a giant clock that'll look very suspicious. I want something that we can get inconspicuously.
I could.
Does one of our other friends have the means to make someone unseen?
A good question.
I just make things. I don't make things invisible.
Leaf, are you able to?
I didn't even know I had wild shape. Really think I'm gonna be useful at all? No, sorry. I only handle animals, not like people. So this is like not in my area of expertise.
That's fair.
Well,
What
then-
about,
Animals and plants, and I don't think she's either of those things. So
what about you, Skip?
So I have DM questions.
Mhm.
So minor illusion is it's a still image. is that based on where it is on the planet, or if I like put a picture of a barrel on a cart, will the barrel stay on the cart, or will it just be a
will
floating
not.
barrel?
It'll end up a floating barrel.
Okay, what about silent image?
Can you throw that in the chat real quick?
I would be delighted to. Wait, that's the wrong spell. Where is it?
I think you move silent image as an action.
Disguise self. That would work, but it's
Oh,
a
wait.
self.
I didn't even mean to put that one.
Silent image.
Those spells aren't even like close
Cause
to
the
each
image to
other.
move to any spot within range. I would say yes, like because it's a concentration spell, but that would definitely be more functional. But you would have to you
Actively like
like
stay with
actively stay with it and like try to keep it moving in time with the cart, as opposed to like okay but like as a wizard you're pretty good at that. Like you're in the midst of battle and concentrating on spells and doing other stuff, so I think you can pull that off without much of a problem.
So I mean, options. Although none of you would actually know that I have this spell because I've never once used it before.
Hmm.
I got it more as that's what Skippy would choose to have rather than what I wanted.
I think we'll be all right. There is such a thing as over planning.
That's true. Oh, I'm gonna lay on this cart and possibly play some cards. So,
I love cards.
Just so you know, we do have a house right now.
are we gonna stay at the house, or we're gonna?
Well,
Oh,
okay, so
At the
technically,
tower.
yeah. So we have a tower. We have we have 6 hotel rooms, and we have a cart.
Oh, we are living it up.
Yeah.
You know what?
How you
Instead,
have so much money is beyond me.
Me?
Instead, I'm gonna have the fresh juice that I have, and I'm gonna go back to the tower and make ourselves a little meal before we start and do all this.
Okay. So, Dustin, as you come to the tower, you notice that it no longer looks like a very tall birdhouse. And I will put a picture in the chat of what it looks like. Similar to what it looks like, at least.
What happened in the chat?
Getting
The-
spicy.
We went at it.
oh god, the Four Souls chat. What the hell?
Stuff happened.
When you put me,
Oh,
you
my
put us in a room
goodness.
together, it gets aggressive.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
it becomes a lot.
It looks like a tuning fork.
Yes, and Skippy will be up in the room with all the star charts and maps. Ow.
So, is the 2-prong end up or down?
Up.
Up.
Dustin's just gonna say it looks just slightly phallic. I don't like it.
This is what the tower is?
Does that look like phallic?
Listen,
Not
he
even.
doesn't. He doesn't know
Maybe
what
if you-
a brothel is.
He doesn't know what a brothel is. Would he know what the word phallic means?
That's good point. Neither would Skippy at that.
And he's just gonna walk in. Is Skippy already up in the room, or is he downstairs?
Yes, and he'll be shuffling around papers.
Yeah, just be like, Skippy,
Yeah.
do you have a kitchen I can make stuff in?
Yeah, it's on the bottom floor, and
Thank-
there should be like 2 rooms in the bottom floor. A like, what you call it? Like an entryway with the staircase going up, and then the kitchen.
All right, thank you. I'm just gonna start cooking another. I'm just gonna start making some stuff out of the produce that I have. If I picked up some eggs, I might make like those scrambled eggs with vegetables for everybody. And that's what I'm doing. What is everybody else doing?
Well, I'm kind of doing my own little ritual thing for at least the next hour.
Yeah, Leaf is probably just going to be watching Dustin cook because anything that hasn't been over that he's not using a campfire to cook is just absolutely astounding to her.
I did not hear any of that. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. No, I just said that Leaf is probably just gonna be watching Dustin cook, because anything that like you're not cooking over a campfire, and that is just crazy to her. So she's gonna be staring in amazement.
Dustin at different points, like be like, "Leave, can you try this?"
And everything's just gonna be delicious.
It's just gonna be a back and forth of like different spoons and different like forks and spatulas, just going back and forth on like tasting.
Yeah, you're not cooking a rat over a campfire, so like this is
This is
unheard
new.
of. This is all new to her.
All right. And yeah. Out of curiosity, what is Temperance doing?
Besides trying to get her new headset to work properly. No, she was. Is that the shape of the tower? Did I
Yeah.
It
miss-
is.
Okay.
Of Skippy's current tower.
Okay. How tall is the tower?
Currently, it is 2 stories high, so it is a rather thin tower.
And it's got like this big gap in the middle, just like a tuning fork does.
It does, and there's an intention behind that.
So is it like a 2-story tower on the bottom with these tuning forks sticking off of it? Or are they part, or do they have rooms and stuff?
That is a good question. Can I have it just tuning fork sticking off of it? Is that
Sure.
okay? Then yeah, then that.
You've created a lightning rod.
Skippy has a whole presentation to give his party.
Temperance would
God.
be inquiring as to the why, what?
Okay, so Temperance is in the tower, asking
Yeah.
Skippy these.
Like, why did you make this shape, and what does it mean to why?
Okay, so remember when? All right, so remember when we were in the sky and there was a totally different world, right? Well,
Uh-huh.
so I have a big idea, but I have to save it until everybody's here and I can tell them because it's huge and everybody's gonna love it. I think maybe. It won't require burning stuff that I know of. And Skippy's gonna look like nervously at Temperance.
Is the whole tower made out of like metal too?
It is. So it's whatever component I have with me when I
It's like
build
metal.
it.
So Temperance is just like, it's not going to make a large twangy noise, is it? Because I don't think that'll be as fun as you think it might be.
No, I don't know what twangy means, but I don't think it'll make noise. Can I roll perception to see if this thing is making tuning fork noises?
Like, is Xanroar going to throw something at the tower?
I think if it was, you'd notice pretty right away.
Okay.
Being that you're inside of it. It has not been twanged.
Yeah, so
Please
I feel
don't
like
twang it.
if it got hit, it would definitely make noises, but I mean everything makes noises if you hit it.
Right. Okay, so just gather everybody and then you'll explain your grand plan for the tower looking this way?
Well, I don't want to make them do anything so they don't come, but this eventually whenever they get here, or if they don't, then I'll save it for another day.
Hey, oh, sorry, you're praying. I did not mean to interrupt you. Carry on.
Without opening his eyes, what is it?
Since your eyes are closed and your back's turned to it, I thought I'd just inform you that our bird friend has created his tower, and I think he's preparing to try and tune a giant piano.
One eye kind of opens and looks over. What?
I don't know, and I'm afraid of what the reason.
I'm just about finished here anyways. Give me 10 more minutes.
Of course.
And 10 minutes later, there's a bit of a flash of light and two very unique devices in front of him. Picking them up, he'll examine them, make sure they're looking all right. Bit of a nod. Well,
Shall we?
This one's for you, first off.
Oh, my. Thank you. What is it?
It appears to be a little leather gauntlet with some kind of mechanical device. It looks to be about a dagger's length.
Ah,
It's a retractable blade.
very nice. I appreciate this greatly. I shall try it after dinner, yes?
Feel free. It's basically a dagger with light and finesse, but it has let's see, with my abilities, 16 DC to be found on investigations on you.
Ooh! Okay, send me the text of that and I'll put it in my sheet.
Just finalized it like a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, alright.
And the second one's for Temperance.
She'll be strapping it on as we sort of walk over.
Yeah, the other one looks a lot thinner and modeled black to match her feathers. Well, let's head over.
Of course.
I guess we arrived.
Yeah.
Yes, there's some townsfolk that are kind of scratching their head over this giant metal object that has appeared on the outskirts of town. A couple people look a bit upset about it at first, but are
Is it like when old people get mad that windmills get put up around their house?
kinda. It's just like what?
In 24 hours, they'll be fine.
But
Don't worry, it'll be gone tomorrow.
It gets here, I'll have the hot meal prepared around the table, wherever the table is in the tower. Try to put on like a really piecemeal together chef's hat with just different things I can find around the area.
Once we get there, I'll quickly find Temperance and give her the other. Thought you could use one of these as well.
Thank you. I like the colors.
Should blend in with you a bit better. He doesn't say much else other than to make sure it fits properly.
She probably tries to put it on wrong a couple times. Like,
He'll kneel down. Let me.
Oh.
Attach it to your leg hand thing.
it's
There.
difficult when you don't have actual hands.
Just a bit.
Fits well, thank you.
Just a nod. So Skippy wanted to show us all something.
Skips.
Okay, is everybody here? So as everybody's coming in, Skippy will call everybody up to the upper room, which is full of maps and telescopes and star charts and stuff like that. Stuff that you'd use for basic navigation. And he is using almost every illusion spell he has right now to basically build a Beautiful Minds style board with pictures and drawings all over the wall. And Skippy's going to turn around and be like, "Oh, everyone's here. Good. Okay. So, and he's going to use prestidigitation to put a little inspiring tune in the background of his little speech that he's about to give. And so he's gonna sit there and he's like, "All right, so I had an idea based off of when we were in the Elven Enclave, and there was the mirror, and he's gonna pull out his little piece of the mirror that he saved, and so, all right, okay, so you guys remember how when we were at the Elven Enclave, we went into the mirror and we were able to get stuff from the mirror?
Yes.
Okay. So it's very similar to that, except what if multiple people could go into this? Oh, okay. Well, okay. So I think it was a pocket dimension. So a pocket dimension is like what I do with this. And he will show everybody his rope trick. And so with rope trick, what I do is I use a rope, which is the component, and I make a pocket dimension, and in my pocket dimension is where I like to do my drawings and readings of stuff. Anyways, that's not why I need to. But anyways, so I have the idea of using the tuning fork because, there was some theory on the stuff that happened in college, but nobody really knows how to do it because it's said to be impossible. But they also said it would be impossible to survive getting to here from the floating isles. So, anything's possible if you are lucky enough. So what we would need is a giant source of power, the right tuning signal, and the ability to make a gateway to get our own what they would call it is a demi-plane, which is like a small universe, because there are lots of bad people in this one, and I think it would be cool if all our friends went to this other universe. And I have it all mapped out, and Skippy's gonna direct everybody to the Beautiful Minds board, and basically it's gonna have what everybody's role in this universe would be, and it'd be like, oh, Ara is the actual judge of everybody because she hates everybody equally.
Are now.
Dustin had the role of being the food supplier for them. Temperance was the guardian of everybody. Xanroar was the person that was making everything. And we would colonate this universe with all nice and friendly people like Mara and Mr. Skaggerhill, and Zara and Aga, and everybody would go there, and it would be nice because we would all be friends, and there wouldn't be bad people trying to kill other people, and we could do what we needed to do there, and live happily ever after. And Skippy is going to do little sparks with minor illusion to come out, to put the just final note on his presentation. And he's gonna kind of be smiling and looking at everybody.
Leaf's just gonna look over and be like, I'm sold.
Let me get this straight. You're creating a different plane, like a different place, but a different place.
Well, so I'm not creating it. The thought process is that the tower, which is a tuning fork, would act as a bridge between the two places, and it would vibrate at the same vibration of another place that already exists, and just hit me. It took me far too long. What?
I understood what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
Nick finally.
Out of character, I did too. This is just what Dustin would say.
and so we would be able to vibrate the tower to the same vibration of another place and then get off there and then be in a friendly universe where people aren't trying to kill people and there's plenty of cabbages and books to read.
I do like books.
Me too.
So let me
Well-
get this straight. You want to basically make your own or assemble your own kind of dimension?
No, so it'd already be made. Because I don't know how to make a universe that is far beyond any wizard that has ever happened that I know of. But what I am saying is that in theory, they say that there are other universes parallel to ours that are different. And so it's one of them has to be a friendly universe where everybody's friends. And we could all go there and it would be cool because we would all be happy and not have to worry about, murder.
So this is a pre-existing universe that you'd just be tapping into?
Yes. But
Great.
so the Xanroar actually would have to play a big part in this because remember when I mentioned that we would need a super large source of power? Well, I noticed it's kind of subtle, but does anybody notice that Xanroar is kind of like chill with a god? Like it's a subtle thing about him, but it's cool. And so I was wondering if he was interested, if he could ask his person for help when we're ready to do this, because we would have to be ready and prepared. Yeah.
Zen was just kind of sit there, just arms folded currently, kind of in thought. I know Gond would be more than interested in creating something that's kind of his thing. But leaving this world, this plane, despite all the wrong and the bad here, there is good, and there's more that I need to do here. And I don't think for this world's sake, I don't think at least some of us should leave. There's, like you said, there are bad people and bad things here. But you need good people to push back against it. At least that's my thought. I can help you make it, but I don't think I could leave.
Ian,
Okay.
will this work? We have a lot of stuff we have to get to. We have a lot of objectives. We have to help Ara. We have to help Xanroar. We have to help Temperance what she needs. And in that time, we'll help a lot of people. We'll cause as much good and create as much as we can. And once we feel comfortable in what we're leaving behind, push all our goals, we find the tower, we get everything settled, and if everyone's still willing, we go to this new plane.
Is this a one-way ticket you've got going on here, or is this a back and forth whenever we want?
Well, so ideally there would be like a doorway that we could use to go back and forth, whether it's the tower itself or something else. I don't really know the science behind it, but the mirror seemed to be a pretty open in and out kind of relationship, although it was a give and take. So in order for something to go into the mirror, something had to come out. So maybe it's similar to that.
That sounds like dangerous magics you'd be working with. Do you understand what you're doing, Skippy? Do you know what you're asking for?
No, because nobody's really done it ever. and a lot of people don't think that it's even possible. But people also, probably think that we're dead right now, and that's not true. So there's got to be some kind of way to do stuff.
I mean, I don't hate the idea, but I'm kind of on team with Xanroar as far as I don't want to leave if I know I can't come back. Because, like he said, there's work to be done here, and we're I mean, yeah, we have a job to do right now, but we came down here with I came down here with the purpose of trying to help people. And if they're all friendly to us and friendly to each other, doesn't sound like that world needs a whole lot of me or help in general. So, but I do like the idea of having a place to run to if we need. It's a good idea. It sounds like we'd need your help speaking to your god. Is that something you're comfortable creating, being a part of?
I think that was a Xanroar question.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. Do you mind saying that again?
Yeah, I was just, it sounds like Skippy's got the idea and some of the know-how, but it sounds like the power harness is from your god. Is that something that you'd be comfortable being the go-between for?
Honestly, I don't mind helping out. And I'm sure as long as I'm in God's good graces, he's more than fine. He is the god of creation, be it good or ill. If it's if it's to make something, he's more than interested. That's for sure. But currently, I don't think I have that strong of a connection with him to ask such a thing. Maybe once my quest is over, but even then, I'm not sure.
And it was just an idea. It's not something that I've put too much thought into. And he's gonna push some papers behind some books and obvious drawings of everybody holding hands in their new world.
Oh, Skippy.
But he's gonna sit there and be and things could change, and we could make differences. So instead of having an actual universe, just a pocket dimension, like the mirror, where we would all just be safe and not have to worry about stuff.
I assume we're all in the kitchen or something because Dustin was making food or something.
No, so we're up on the second floor. There's an observatory, a planetarium, not a planetarium. What are those things called? That you look at stars. Is that what it's called? An observatory?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so we're in one of those, and there's telescopes and stuff looking at space.
Temperance is gonna try and take those drawings from Skippy and just shake her head and be like, "No, this is a good plan. It just needs some work." And she'll take them to later, put on the fridge in the kitchen or something.
You do realize
Skippy,
that
you had a
everything
real-
in here will disappear after the tower's
It's
gone.
the thought. It's the
And
thought.
anything that we leave in here gets teleported out of the tower. But anything we brought in, we could take out with us.
Nelson, real quick, before I forget again, if you want to do a basic map of Skippy's tower, we could have a map to go to whenever you're in the tower. The basic layout idea.
Yeah, sure. So I think the tuning fork is going to be a rare one, and it's going to be the bird house for most of the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, otherwise I'm just imagining us in the Firefly. We're in Serenity right now.
Love it. But yeah, so for most part, it's going to be a birdhouse. But this is Skippy's architectural design for his tuning fork, because it's a tuning fork. But yeah. So, anyways, is Skippy's gonna like kind of change gears really quick, and be like, "All right, well, I need to write a letter to somebody. Uh, are are we all ready for our mission tonight?"
With a plate full of burgers.
Ready as we'll ever be.
Good to go.
We're gonna go start laying down in the cart. And he's gonna watch his dish and then go outside and start walking back.
Skippy is gonna go outside and find a large stick, and like some honey or something, so he could like glue something.
DM,
Mhm.
I have a question. How far from the woods are we?
About a day.
Poop. Okay.
Everything goes south and you run to the woods.
Yeah.
Maybe little less, maybe like half a day if you're fast, but it's a
Yeah.
ways. It's not
No.
like right there.
Not a casual walk distance, yeah. Okay.
Nah.
One does not simply walk to the woods.
Well, we simply walked in out of it.
I flew.
Is there anything else you guys want to get up to before your kidnapping commences?
So Skippy is just writing a letter signed to the attention of Mr. Skaggerhill. Well, the first envelope is to the attention of Mr. Skaggerhill, and in that envelope, there's another envelope to the attention of Anariel. And it's basically just going to be saying, hey, so you might have heard some stuff about us kidnapping a girl from a place in town tonight, but it wasn't actually a kidnap, and just explaining like that we're not actually kidnapping this girl. Is that girl asked us to like rescue her from being married off to somebody that she doesn't love, and making the cause that everybody should be able to choose their own path in life.
Oh no.
Don't worry, I'll send him a message later.
I was gonna go find Skippy, but I was inherently waiting till you're done with your letter, so there's nothing I can even do about this. But I want to find you after you're done.
Okay. And that's all. I'm gonna.
After I see you're done doing whatever you're doing, I'll close up my shop and find you, and I'll say, hey,
Hello.
come for a walk with me, yeah?
Okay. And Skippy's going to do a little owl walk. If nobody's seen what an owl looks like walking, you should look it up. Next to Ara, which keep in mind is very slow. I have a 15 walking speed.
But if you look to the top right of the map, I will be guiding you that way because I wanted to go to the woods for this, but that little patch of trees will do.
Okay. Skippy's gonna be hopping along. Oh, sweet. I can use my.
All right. Do you know why I brought you here?
Are you gonna ask me if I would kill you again?
Good to know you, Skippy.
No, I already got my answer there. See these trees?
Yes.
I'm gonna throw a dagger into two of them, and say, "All right, now imagine these trees are people for a moment, yeah?"
Skippy is going to minor illusion them as people.
Good enough. So both are holding daggers, yes?
Okay.
Which one is evil?
Skippy's going to minor illusion with like red eyes and scary fangs. Be like, that one.
All right. How do you know that, other than your minor illusion?
Because it's a spruce tree.
I think it's a fir, but regardless. Do you know what happens when one old tree falls in the forest?
Falls.
After it falls, The little
Uh,
seedlings that were growing under it have a race to take up its spot, and the one that wins gets all the sunlight and starves out the ones underneath it.
I'm sorry, you cut off at the last little bit of that.
Every one of these trees. There was a tree here before it, and it had a race with probably half a dozen, maybe even a dozen other trees to fill in the spot left by the now dead tree. And the one that wins gets all the sunlight. The ones that lose don't, and they shrivel and die.
Okay.
So, if all of these trees are directly responsible for half a dozen other trees' deaths, which tree is evil?
That depends. Were the other trees bad?
The other trees were just like him. These two. They were just racing and they lost.
Well, then it depends on what they do now that they're trees.
You're actually, surprisingly, that is the correct answer. Depends on what these trees do, yeah? Doesn't matter that they were just following their nature. Are you following me? Or is this just going in one ear, out the other?
I think both me and Skippy are confused right now.
Alright.
Uh,
It's the tree's nature to grow and to win the race. But what the trees do afterwards is what makes them evil, by your logic.
yes.
So, I want you to imagine that these trees are people like you and me.
I'm a bird.
Which, sure. If our nature is to survive, to do what we are born to do, which one of us is, okay, well, I'm a bad example. You and one of our other friends over there, which one of you is evil?
Well, none of us are evil
How do you know?
because Xanroar cares about the people that he's with, and Temperance cares a little bit more because I drive her crazy, but she still doesn't let me die. And then Dustin, even though I wrecked his cart when I first met him, he helped me heal my broken wing, and then he stayed with me as I went through college. And then Leaf is small, and
Yes, she is.
she
So,
seems nice. Shelby, I get weird vibes from ever since
well,
she started eating
Shel-
meat.
she's a cannibal, so we give her a pass. So, if it's their natures to be good, can they change?
I don't know. Can this tree change into a bush?
Not that I know of.
Then not that I know of.
So, good people can't become bad.
I not in Skippy's experience.
All right, how to do this?
Skippy. So at this point, Skippy's gonna start pulling out books that he's read and see like, see, and in this one, the wizard Logan, even though it seemed like he had to do evil stuff in order to save the day, he was still able to the dragon without killing it, which then in turn helped the village remain
All right.
safe from the invading armies of the north.
Okay, all right, okay. Let's try this one different way, very briefly here. If I were to throw a dagger into your face right now, would I be a good or a bad?
Well, you wouldn't though. And Skippy's gonna sit there and be like, pull his hat down just a little bit.
What I'm trying to tell you is this didn't. Okay. What I'm trying to tell you, worry about yourself and making sure you and those around you remain straight and narrow. Anything past that, if you stress too much about trying to keep the world perfect and create a perfect place, you're going to drive yourself to dark places. Like these trees, which killed other trees to get to where they are.
Well, we've killed people, but they were bad people, so maybe they were
You're
bad
right.
trees.
Absolutely. But never mind. Let's go back.
Did I do good?
You did wonderfully.
Skippy's gonna like ruffle up his feathers, not seeing the sarcasm in that.
I think I confused myself more with this conversation than I intended to. Just look out for yourself, all right? Let's do this job well tonight, and yeah.
Are the people still outside the tower looking at it as I am returning?
Not as much.
Okay.
They live with a weird wizard guy, so they kind of like get it to a degree.
Okay.
But like once they were sure like they weren't about to be attacked by something weird, like they calmed down.
All right.
Because like the people in charge didn't freak out. So you're finishing up all the things you wanted to do. Night begins to fall. The town slowly starts to wind down for the evening. There are some places that are still up and going. The tavern areas, mostly. But this isn't like a city where like it goes all night. It at one point it does finally start to seem like everything is shut down. What shenanigans do you get into?
Is the bar still open?
It's open, but there's not really anyone around. It's like the building. Like, are you talking about here? Like
Yes,
the
the
inn?
wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's open mostly for people to come and go, and Trappy's not there, but there is a guy just sort of like hanging out. You would have seen him the first night. He comes in, just kind of hangs out to make sure things are safe.
This is our first night.
Yeah.
You're right. I was like, we take like 3 sessions to get through a day, so I get lost sometimes. But yeah, there's a human guy there, and he's pretty much sitting in the same place that Trappy was. He's just hanging out, whittling a bit of wood. That's how he
Gonna
keeps.
Oh,
come
sorry.
in. So where's Trappy?
Old man's gotta sleep sometime.
Skippy is going, seeing him whittling the wood and thinking back to his conversation earlier. He's going to ask the guy, "Was that tree evil?"
What?
Ara's just gonna look to Xanroar and to him and just be like, I am so unbelievably sorry for what I've just created.
He kind of looks at the
That's
piece
strike
of wood.
2.
He's like, pretty sure trees can't be evil.
That's what he was trying to teach me. Thank you. And I'm gonna like put a piece of silver down for him, and then like hop over to Ara and be like, "I figured it out. I figured it out. None of them were."
Yeah. Okay. Barkeep,
He looks so confused.
two shots of something. You should look at Xanroar. Orcish.
And
Can I get
This is an
apple
eyebrow.
juice?
the guy gets up. He's the only one there at the moment, and he sets down his stuff and heads over to the bar and kind of looks around and scratches his head. He is an older guy, broad-shouldered, very square. Has got a bit of a tummy. He's just and a scruffy beard. And he just kind of scratches the back of his head and he's like, "I don't know what's orcish."
Does he have a ring on his finger?
He does.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You related to the family somehow? Or just a family friend or business partner?
Married in.
Oh no.
Hmm,
He
fair enough.
he pulls down a bottle of whiskey and is like, "I know this stuff's pretty harsh. You want to try this?"
Yes, one for me and one for my friend here.
And he
Which
will.
friend, me or Skippy?
Not Skippy.
he'll pour you each.
Skippy will go up to the counter and be like, "Do you have apple juice?"
He starts rummaging around, opens a bottle and sniffs something and shrugs, then pours a glass of it and slides it over.
I'll toss 2 silver onto the table.
I'm gonna take the glass before Skippy grabs it and just quickly sniff it. Does it smell alcoholic?
It's a hard apple cider.
Oh no.
Oh. Have chocolate
Skippy?
milk?
This has booze in it. You are too young for booze.
Oh,
Leaf,
okay.
why don't you take this?
Absolutely. Thank you.
But she's also small.
Yes,
Hey.
but she's older than you.
I'm short.
Hand over the apple cider to her.
Yeah, she takes a big old swig and she's gonna kind of make a weird face like, this is kind of sweet, but fuck it.
Skippy's gonna sit there and be like, yeah, Temperance doesn't like when we say those words.
Oh.
What
shit,
words?
sorry. What?
No, I didn't hear the words, and now I want to know.
It was a swear word. Just
It was a bad boy word.
She dropped
that's
the F
that's the
bomb.
word that bad birds say.
I think it's the word that means something that Skippy has no idea about.
Oh. All right. Well,
Oops, sorry.
Turning back to the
just look
barkeep.
at-
So, do all of you live here in the wheelhouse, or it's a bit small to hold the whole family?
Nah, we all live in town. Us who's got married anyway got our own families.
Trappy, he all on his own then?
Nah, Sarah's still here with them.
Oh, they are both at the wheelhouse then? You know if they snore? Because we're staying here tonight.
They got their own place across the way. Then he kind of points out the door in the direction of that part of the house that Ara had noticed that you haven't gone into. The small section.
This one here?
Yes.
Fair enough. I'm a light sleeper, so hate to be woken up.
Use the folk that made that big metal thing out over yonder.
Gesture over to Skippy. Well, he made it.
What's it there for?
Oh, so I was planning to make well, not like right now, but it was my Mark 1 design for building a doorway to another universe.
He just kind of stares blankly a bit like
See, it works, it vibrates. Well, it's theoretically it would vibrate to match the frequency of another universe if we got it to vibrate at the right signal. and had a giant power source, which we don't have right now, to power it. And then we would be able to go to a place where everybody's friends and there aren't any bad people there, because bad people are the worst. But trees, there would be lots of trees because trees aren't evil.
So it's like a door handle.
That's actually, yeah. That's pretty much, yeah. That's it.
He
So
kind
it's
of straightens up a bit. Cause like he feels like he understands now. Like he understands smart people talk. But so you ain't opening the door with the handle.
So sadly, right now the door is locked, and we can jiggle the handle, but it wouldn't really get you anywhere. So we need the power source, which is like the key to the door, in order to open it. But then we would also need a way to figure out where the door goes to make sure we end up in a place where everybody's friends, and not a place where everybody's bad people, like the Badgers.
You get bit or something?
No, they killed 3 of our friends back in Everbright after we told them where their hideout was.
Skippy, I think Temperance is giving you an evil eye. Why don't you go talk to her?
Oh, okay. And Skippy's gonna hop over and talk to Temperance about the book that he's reading.
You see, as Skippy's heading over, Xanroar is giving a sorry look over to her, but
I like how Skippy's initial interaction with everybody starts with somebody else looking at them and be like, sorry.
We're used to passing back and forth.
I may or may not have tried to give him a moral lesson, and it may or may not have gone horribly.
As long as we don't introduce him to the idea of anything along the lines of a brothel again, we're good.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't use like, euphemisms or, try and explain anything to him on a deeper, more than surface level.
Yeah,
It's really lost.
wish you told me that about 20 minutes ago.
Well, so sorry, I was busy being an inanimate object for most of the time lately. but,
You're fine.
I'm pretty sure wisdom's even lower than my strength, just so everybody's clear.
yeah, draw me some pictures of the stories that you're reading. Go. She'll give the. Go ahead.
Oh, Skippy will pull out his drawing utensils and paper.
Xanroar's just kind of give a nod to everyone, like he's going to go do his thing. So
I was going to kick back the shot and go into sort of danger observation.
yeah, he's going to head out. He can cast this ball from 112 feet away, so it'll take 10 minutes to kind of go down. Just kind of pray for a bit and center it on the center of the shack over here.
It's not really a shack. It's
Or-
an extension of the building.
All right.
Okay.
As soon as he's done, he's going to head back in and just kind of. We've got 10 minutes before this runs out.
Let's move.
And he's going to go back to the same position and start to prepare another casting of it just in case.
So obviously this isn't to scale. So where on the building roughly did you cast it? Like straight in the middle?
I want to, like dead center. So
Okay.
no sound can pass through that area,
Mm-hmm.
either into it or out of it.
Okay. What now?
I did my part.
I'm going to look over
Dustin
to...
will be-
Oh, yeah, you go, Dustin.
Sorry.
Go, you go.
After you.
Well, like two Canadians arguing. I'm gonna
Hey,
look at at Leaf and just kind of give her like the
sorry.
eyes
Hey,
of like
You want me to turn into a rat?
preferably out of sight.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. So I guess Leaf is just gonna go over to yeah, I probably should be out of sight for this. Wait, does she have like an open window or something? Cause like cool, yeah, I can turn to an animal, but like I gotta get into.
I don't know. No one really looked.
we didn't
Can I look?
scout.
Can I look? Cause yeah, no one checked out this building before we just started going for it.
Roll. Are you doing this stealthily, or are you just wandering around?
I guess I should probably do it stealthily so people aren't being suspicious, or I can just walk around and be like, "Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious." Yeah, yeah, I'll try to bring a little stealth into my life.
So roll a sneak. A stealth roll. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh no.
So roll your investigate.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Woo! Great.
You're not seeing a way in. Just like the door, like the door is on this side. It's like it's opposite the door that enters into the tavern in area. This is like 2 floors of bedrooms on either side, and then this part. There are windows along the side, but they're shuttered closed. You're not really seeing a way in.
Guys. So, a small problem. I don't see a way for me to get into that building. So, I could perhaps, I'm just gonna pick up a rock off the ground. I could make an entrance if you'd like, but I don't know if that's what I should do.
I
Thoughts?
don't think it is. Ara, do you mind giving it a second look, or maybe Temperance, maybe both of you?
Of course. I mean, we could always just go. Do you want the front door?
Whatever hole I can get into, yeah,
I'd be
opening
happy
of a
to.
window or a door.
Babysitting anybody. Skippy, you should go show. Look over there.
Skippy, why don't you stay with me right now?
Temperance will go over. You're just looking to get in? Look for an opening of any kind?
Yeah, that's all I need.
Eh?
And also, I also have a quick question before I go in there and do this thing. Who am I looking for? 'Cause y'all just said it was a lady.
Well, there should only be 2 people in there: an old man named Trappy and a woman.
Excellent.
Leaf, you remember the person who served us the other day?
Yes.
Earlier today, technically, I
Or
think.
today? That same person.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of drinking today, Dustin.
I'm actually not drinking. I didn't drink any ale. I just ate.
No, I just
Oh, I
drank
thought you
more.
drank
Don't
less.
worry about it.
Oh, Leaf has been doing a lot of drinking since we've known her.
Yes.
I see no problem whatsoever. This is a customary for
Yeah,
my tribe, so I have no idea. Like this is nothing.
Hey, Skippy's not one that can judge. He doesn't even understand the social implications of drinking.
All right. How are we getting in? Do we want to just hope that the door is in the silent spell and try to pick it, or
I can throw this rock. I thought I should just ask everybody first before I start
So
throwing.
Temperance, like you do find rather easily that the front door is open. This is a compared to the city that you've been in, like this is a people here feel safe. Most people don't lock their doors.
Well,
Excellent.
I mean, it's unconventional, but the door is a common opening. It seems to be.
Is it within the radius of my spell? Like it's a 20-foot radius
No,
from
it is
a
not.
point. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. If that door is open, then I'll do my thing then. Do I really have to go over to the corner to turn into a rat? I mean, we're all just kind of a group of people standing outside a building. So
I
people
could-
are already not paying attention to us.
I could make some fog.
That sounds like a good idea.
Maybe not a bunch of fog randomly in the middle of a town. That would
That's
draw
fair.
more attention. Why don't you?
Oh, I can do this. And I'm gonna like solid snake a barrel around Leaf.
This is totally also inconspicuous. I love it. All right, so I'm gonna turn into a rat now.
Does the barrel shrink to rat size?
I
No,
can.
Yeah, am I
but
still
you can
in
walk
barrel?
right through it. You can walk right through it. It's not real.
Excellent. Yeah, so I'm gonna walk right through, and since this door's open, I'm gonna walk right through the front door.
So you walk in, and it is a small little house. It has a front room. Like the room that you're in is essentially like a small kitchen with a table and like a sitting area, and then there are two rooms set into the back.
hmm
Both of those doors are also closed.
Are there any lights on any of the doors?
No.
I like. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go into the door that is closest to me. I'm gonna like. Can I try to like sneak my way under the crack of the door since I'm just a mere mouse?
Like the further you get in, like most of the way across the room, well, probably closer to halfway across the room, you notice your teeny little rat feet, pitter pats that you could hear because you're close to it just kind of vanish, and everything is completely silent. So you could roll, like there is room under the door. It might take you a bit of squeezing, but you could get your way through. You would imagine that you are probably making a whole bunch of noise in this process, but luckily you're in an area that's been silenced because you're scratching on the floor and kind of like pulling and the door is shifting, but you manage to get your rat bottom through the other side of the door and you are inside. And do rats have dark vision? I'm pretty sure. I mean, cats don't for some dumb reason. I don't know. Let me look. Rat.
They have dark vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everything is in grayscale for you right now. This is a very simple room. And there's a bed, a little vanity, and somebody sleeping in the bed.
Can I try to get closer to the bed to see if who's in the bed?
Yes. This, from what you could see from the floor, is not a whole lot, so you're probably going to have to climb up on something.
Okay. Did you say there was like a nightstand next to him? Next to the bed?
Yes. Small
Excellent.
little
Can I try to
table.
climb that up?
Roll a climb, which I think it would just be a dex, because unless rats have climb. Let me look at the rat. Just a regular old rat. There we go. Yeah, so just make a dex roll to climb.
Excellent. Please let this be good. Hello. Can you please work? Alright, I'm just gonna
Hello.
roll. Apparently no, it's not gonna work right, so I'll just do this.
Because you're going to be using the rat stats, so just roll a d20.
Okay.
That's fine.
Oh.
You're able
Excellent.
to as a rat, you essentially almost have four hands as you're climbing your way up. And you get up, and this is definitely not an old man.
Thank gods.
Just laying there under They don't look relaxed. That's that's pretty obvious.
But is she asleep?
Roll a perception.
Oh.
No. Like her eyes are closed, she's in bed, but she doesn't have like that deep sleep breathing.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get off the nightstand. Like I'm gonna crawl off the nightstand, and I'm going to shape back into my humanoid form.
Mhm.
And I'm going to try to quickly just kind of like cover her mouth real quick so she doesn't scream. Like, shh, I'm one of the good guys. Yeah, I know. I'm one of the good guys. I'm one of the good guys. Hi. My name's Leaf. I'm with some people here to take you away, so you don't have to do the weird marriage thing. I don't know.
So
Quick briefing.
after like 2 seconds, you realize that you're not making any sounds as you're
Oh,
speaking. So like
shite.
you have your hand over her mouth, and her eyes are really wide, and you're speaking, and there's no sound. And she's
Excellent.
realizing that as well. So
Excellent.
she
Okay.
goes very still. Her eyes are wide.
So I'm just gonna kind of mouth to her, and I'm gonna like kind of put up like an A-okay, like it's okay. Like I'm gonna try to like be like I'm okay. Like I'm gonna give her a thumbs up, like I'm okay. It's okay. Like, and I'm just gonna kind of wave to her, like let's go. We're gonna go. Like trying to like mouth really big, like my mouth is just like heart, like we're gonna go. Okay. Yeah.
And she nods.
Okay.
Like
I'm gonna
you
like.
could see like there's a bit of recognition, like you were the weird little kid that was with the guy who said that they'd help get her out. So she's confused, but okay. And
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna. Yeah.
so once you remove your hand, she pulls the blankets off, and she is still fully clothed. Like she was waiting for this, because that was part of the plan. She was hoping it would actually happen. She's kind of a little bit frantic. She goes and she grabs a bag, then she puts it down real quick and runs back and kind of is trying to quickly like roll up some blankets and like stuff it in the bed and like try to make it seem like there's somebody in the bed, and she's not doing a really good job, but because she's very frantic in all her motions. But then she'll go back and she'll grab the bag and look
Can
down.
I try to help? I want to try to help to like make it look like somebody's in the bed a little better as she's like trying to get her stuff together.
Yes. Roll a deception with advantage.
Excellent. Oh.
Nope, the two of you are not the greatest at this. But it's not really person shaped. It's bundle shaped. But
Leaf's just gonna look at it and just kind of nod her head as in like this was a fine job.
So she'll grab her bag. Like she's kind of like she pauses a couple times just cuz like there's no sound and it's really weird, and she kind of like pokes at her ears, but she's also in a rush to go. So she looks like she's ready to bolt.
All right. Cool. Is she ready?
Mhm.
I'm ready. All right. So I'm gonna kind of look at her. I'm gonna go up to the door and I'm gonna like have my hand on like the knob, and I'm just gonna look at her and I'm gonna do the whole like put my finger up to my mouth, just like because I'm not bright. And I'm gonna like open the door really slowly. I'm gonna look out and see if there's anybody out there, and then I'm gonna like start to kind of head towards the front door.
And she will follow, closing the door behind her. There's no click. You don't even notice she pauses. But once you pass and she passes that threshold, you do hear footprints or footfalls on the ground and squeaky wood boards and such.
Excellent. All right. Should I try to roll like a stealth? Because I'm gonna try to like be like a little quiet. Like I'm gonna try to like take a little like lighter steps. You see, do you want me to roll stealth?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my god.
Creak!
Oh no!
You're quiet until you hit that one thing. She seems to be doing a better job than you because she knows where the creaky boards are. But you get to the front door.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna grab the knob. I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna go shh like one more time. I'm gonna try to open up the door real light, real slowly. I'm just gonna try to kick her out and then just like hurry on out and then shut the door really quiet behind me.
You see her kind of like fumble out of the front door and like nearly fall over, but she kind of like looks up, like she's hunched over a bit and she kind of like looks up at the front door over here, and then just bolts towards you guys.
I'm just gonna walk up to them and just be like, "We did it, guys."
And I
How
actually
the
have
woods
it.
you get?
Actually, we are. The woods are like a day away.
Let's get on the cart and let's get going.
Yes, let's be on our way.
Gonna hop on Shelby, finish feeding her the rest of the cannibal meat, and just have a go.
What are you actually feeding her?
Oh, let's see.
Oh my god! It's
I
snake,
fed
right?
a snake one time. I still have horse food. I'll feed her horse food. I need to get her meat later. But
Let's be out of town, yeah?
Yeah.
Please.
just gonna say, just get her as inconspicuous in there as possible. If you're able to change her form with any magic-y thing, I'd suggest you do that.
Ooh.
Oh,
What do you turn her into?
I will do the barrel again
Mm-hmm.
and just like focus on it, like you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
and try to keep it up with the cart.
Okay. Just for fun, roll an Arcana.
Arcana. Lucky for you, that's exactly what I'm into.
Yeah,
Okay.
you do a really like good job of it. Like it's you're focusing and you have like a really great imagination as it is, so you're able to make it actually kind of like bounce around a bit as like the card is going.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for anyone actually that might see us as we're leaving.
Roll a perception.
And I'll guide myself, dropping the silence spell as soon as we're far enough away. Doesn't matter.
As far as you can tell, there are some lights on in some of the houses as you pass by, just people bustling about doing their nighttime stuff. Nobody is following you, and you don't see anybody just like kind of like staring as you're driving by. It just seems like nighttime town folk doing nighttime town things.
Cool.
I'm sat on the end of the cart, sort of like my legs dangling over the side, looking back to where we are, looking in the opposite direction to where we're going, basically to try to block sort of as much view as possible. Like if someone were to be following us and we don't see them.
So, how about you guys? This would be more like a group deception. So
Ooh.
everybody roll a deception.
I'm coming. I'm doing it. I'm coming.
I'm not charismatic at all.
None of us are.
Oh god. None of us are charismatic. This is not good.
Oh God.
Oh, Jesus
Oh
Christ.
no.
This is This is how the party dies.
We're like the group of middle schoolers that tries to hide the fact they're drinking by just holding a can under the table.
By putting it in a brown paper bag.
We're sneaky fucks.
Two rogues.
Guys are like a bit too stiff, and you're like the conversations are very like, this night is great, you know, like you're trying to be casual, and it's just not coming off right at all.
Why is the bird staring at that barrel?
But you are able to pass out of the town. There's nobody following. So how far do you go?
We're just heading north for now.
Towards that caravan, right?
The caravanserai. Yes. So, it is still the same day. You've not slept yet. Let us get to where you is. And me there. So, same rules apply. Every hex is going to be... Well, every 3 hexes is 1 day. But, you're in a safer place now. So every 3 hexes, I'll have you roll once. To see if something happens that day or that evening. You are leaving at nighttime. It's probably a bit past midnight at this point, closer to 1 o'clock. How far do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Do you want to
So
push?
once... Oh, sorry. Okay. So once we're like well out of what Skippy would think somebody would be able to see the cart, he's gonna drop the barrel effect. Since it's only a 10-minute thing anyways.
Well,
And
congrats.
Sarah's kind of sitting in the back of the cart. Her eyes are wide, and she's clutching her bag, and she's looking around like, did we really just do that?
Oh, you're finally awake.
You're awake.
You and that
I
voice
had
lead.
time to return home north.
Got
We're
caught in
just
that
gonna look at her and be
imperial
like,
ambush.
yes, yes, we did do that. You're welcome.
Don't get eaten by
she's-
any giant snakes.
They're not out here, right?
Snakes? No. She kind of like spins around the cart and just kind of like watches the town get smaller and the little lights like disappear more and more as they get away. She's kind of stunned. But
Last chance to turn back.
and she shakes her head like, no way. And she'll eventually plop back down and just still clutching her bag like, thank you so much.
How far away is this caravanserai, did you say?
About 2 days.
Wonderful.
You can
So
survive for
wait.
2 days.
Like here.
This is where you're headed.
Did you ping
You
something?
make the first move. Is that okay?
Am I on the right
Oh, okay.
thing? Here.
I saw it
Yes.
this time, yeah.
Yeah, this.
Make your move, Dustin.
Moving. Have to
Uh,
roll.
So how
I'm
far are
gonna
you going?
sleep during all this.
So are you guys? How are you taking the travel? Are you going to stop at all? Are you going to try to rotate sleeping in the cart? Because this is a cart. This is not a carriage. This is not very large. You're lucky that you have 3 tiny people. But
Dustin will stay up for the entire night.
what?
Who's the other tiny person?
Dustin will stay up for the entire night moving the cart.
So riding on Shelby.
Shelby, he'll stay up. Yeah.
Okay.
Skippy will
So
say
you
that
guys-
he. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say Skippy will say that he
Dustin.
is staying up with Dustin, and then he's going to sit down next to Dustin and almost immediately fall.
Dustin will stay to the rest of the group. Everyone just get some rest. I'll take it from here for the night.
Don't push Shelby too hard, otherwise we'll have to stop at some point to rest Shelby. She needs sleep
That's
as
fine.
well.
I'll see if I can take her for the rest of the night. If she starts to get tired, I'll slow her down. But you guys get some rest. We'll get some more in the morning.
So roll for me. Let me double check. It is a D8.
That's either really good or
Really
really bad.
I wasn't sure who was rolling that, so
How about the person who's actually driving?
okay.
So, if you're pushing all the way through, so like straight 8 hours, you could, Dustin can move 3 hexes. Okay. So, things are for the most part quiet, near the end. Like, you are a human. It is dark. There is moonlight and stars, so it's not like complete darkness for you. But you do notice a couple times that especially near the end where you're getting tired, that if it wasn't for Shelby being a living thing, you probably would have driven into like a flock of axe beaks or like Shelby's the one that saves your ass at this point. But she too is getting tired. She can't go continuously, but you have made it a good halfway there. You're ways out.
So once I see Shelby, like, is it at this time like the sun is about rising at this point?
It's about like 8, 9 in the morning. The sun's up.
So once I see like there's at least a little bit of light out, and Shelby's starting to get a bit tired, I'm just gonna slow Shelby down, and get off of her and take out a carrot and just start feeding her.
A singular carrot.
For now, a singular carrot.
It's a carrot made of meat.
I was gonna say, I don't think a carrot's
I
gonna
just
fill her
shove it
needs.
inside with like ground beef. I'm gonna say, all right, guys, it's the morning. Everything went all right. Nothing went bad.
5 more minutes.
I'll look to Sarah's her name.
Yep.
All right. It's a good time as ever to stretch your legs while we water and rest the horse. Come on.
She groans. She doesn't look like she slept very well. I mean, it's uncomfortable, and she was high-strung to begin with, but she doesn't complain. She'll sling her bag over her back and hop down over the back of the cart.
I'll go walk near Mr. Dustin as he's feeding the horse, and turn around to Sarah and say, "So, we've got you halfway there. I think it's time you upheld your end of the bargain."
Oh yeah, right. You wanted to know about them 2 fellas that came through. I believe their names were something like Ulrich and Toby, I think. I was the one that took care of them for the most part, but they were just staying a night and running through. But I did hear them say that they were gonna head over to Oakmarsh. They had something they needed to deliver there.
Do I get a sense of sincerity?
Roll an insight.
Oh boy, I'm not good at these.
Hold on, I actually have something for this. It's not that
Um,
we don't.
well, you
Oh fuck.
are sure.
Oops.
Like she seems perfectly genuine and like earnest to tell you this stuff. Um,
That's right. I forgot about your spell. Sorry.
It's more than all right. You seem to trust her enough, but just in case, I'm going to turn to her. I'm going to cast a spell. You can choose to fail or to be under its influence. It's just a way for everyone to know that you are speaking the truth, just so there's no ill intent around. Or do you understand?
I guess so, but I ain't lying.
I know, but it's just to put our minds at ease. We've had to deal with shady characters, so
Wait, what's
use
the?
us for our mistrust. Just and I'll cast Zone of Truth. So anyone who wants to fail the save can, but otherwise it's a charisma saving throw.
She lets it happen.
Skippy is going to try and hold something in. What do I need to pass?
Charisma saving throw, DC
It doesn't
14.
it doesn't force you to speak truths.
Yeah,
Like it's
it,
not you're not going to blurt.
yeah. Like you don't have to say anything if you don't want to.
Okay.
It just means if you say anything, it has to be the truth if you fail. But no one who was close enough failed, except for her. Do you mind just repeating what you had said?
Um, the big blonde guy, I think his name is Ulrich, something like that. He's big and muscly and don't seem to like shirts much. Other guy's smaller, dark skin. Think he was an half elf. He had the ears, but he wasn't all and then pretty, I guess. And then gestures over to Ara. Uh, I think he was called Toby, something like that. Um,
Did
eh,
he look kind of like this? And I'm gonna like minor illusion. What's his name? Alzorna.
no.
Oh. Hmm.
So was that like Elzorna without the mask, or
Yeah.
uh, no? She kind of like jumps like, but like, no, not like that. Like brown.
Uh.
Uh,
Oh wait. Was Alzorna elfy?
Elzorna
Okay.
was a
Wait,
drow.
Isn't
hold
that
on.
a type of elf?
Yes, but a frightening kind.
Toby one. What color was his hair?
Black and curly.
Okay.
Did he look similar to this? And oh wait, no one else could see what I just clicked on. I clicked on Iggy.
Uh, no.
What about this? And then I'm just gonna go
Skippy.
through the entire family.
Xander's gonna stop him after the next two. It's like, Skippy, it's not anyone we know.
And she's just shaking her head. And they said they was heading to Oak Marsh because they had something to deliver there. And they seemed real excited about it. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention because I didn't think it mattered. They were just guys coming through. Did they do something bad?
No,
Possibly.
maybe.
Speaking of,
I think that's
Did
all
they?
I know.
well, Thank you very much.
And she smiles. Like I said, you just get me up to the caravanserai there, and then I'll wait till there's a caravan and hook up that way and go somewhere and have my own adventures. You don't gotta worry nothing about me.
Fair enough. Well, if we're heading to Oak March, I think that's the same direction we need to go anyways.
If you absolutely need anything, please let us know, because we're trying to do a little bit good in this world. And by the means we do it may not be so clean, but we're trying.
Uh-oh. Is anyone else having D20 weirdness?
Yeah,
I
just
am
DC'd for a second.
Okay. But,
Not currently.
Like, you got a place I can send letters?
Yeah, actually, we do. We're not going to be there quite as often, but once we get back, we'll see him. Temperance?
Yeah.
Temperance?
Hello.
I hears her.
Okay, cool. Do you have one of the calling cards for our business and an
Yes.
address?
We looking for A or B? Are we looking? We're looking for one of the legitimate ones. Yes.
Yeah, one of the legitimate ones. I want to give it to this person that we're helping.
All right. She'll filter through a couple stacks and then pull out one of them.
Write a letter over here or visit here anytime you need anything.
Oh, thank you.
Dustin
I
is
haven't done a whole lot of writing. I don't know how good I am at it, but I'll definitely tell you what I'm up to.
me neither. Cool.
We
And
can
Dustin is then going to proceed to walk to the other side of the car, and hopefully no one's in it. Get on top and just fall right asleep.
Kerthunk.
Thunk.
also,
Just
if you wish,
shaking a little bit.
we can contact you. I know a spell that should be able to contact anyone, as long as they're on the same plane of existence. As long as I've met them before.
That's real cool. How do you learn stuff like that? I mean, I always thought
Well,
magic was nice, but my pa wasn't really into us learning a whole lot. We had to work.
fair. I'm well. Zemmer just kind of goes a little quiet. I'm just indebted to higher power, and he pulls out his little symbol of Gond. I'm a cleric, though I may not look it.
What do you mean
There's
by indebted?
I owe him a lot. He's helped me with a number of things, and one of his disciples helped me very much. So, since that person is no longer around, I feel more indebted to Gond now, considering that he's no longer here.
Hmm. I don't know a lot about gods either. Some folk are.
Honestly, me neither.
there's
I
a
was
really sorry.
I was curious about one more thing, if you don't mind me asking. Who was your father intending to marry you off to, anyways? Is it like one of the mayor or someone like that?
Nah, Papa don't like the mayor at all. Uh, one of his buddies who comes through now and then with the horses. They he he runs one. Well, he doesn't. I know he has a bunch to do with one of the horse ranches around town, but he's usually traveling, taking the horses up to the different towns to sell them. But he was planning on settling back down soon, so he wanted to marry me off to him so he wouldn't be lonely without his horses. And she kind of like makes a face, like.
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't think he was a bad guy. I only met him a couple times, but ain't what I wanted to do.
We must all make
Well,
our own decisions in life.
What'll you do if he comes after? I mean, he's gonna try.
We're not very afraid of horses.
I am, and I'll like look at Shelby.
we got a cannibal. We got a cannibal horse. She'll eat the rest of them. It'll be fine.
Well, I was talking more about my pa sending someone.
Don't worry, we can handle ourselves.
But better question: what will you do if he sends somebody?
Try to hide, I guess. Run as fast as I can.
Could we possibly hire one of the like Iggy or Malik or somebody else to protect her?
I could get in contact with Iggy or his brother and see if maybe they might take her along, maybe train her in some way.
You want to learn magic?
Interested?
They're really good with magic and alchemy.
And Iggy's brother is quite
Handsome.
strong when it comes to their hands.
Teach you how to fight.
If that's something that'd be interest to you.
Yes. Anything that's not waiting tables and getting married to old people.
Would you like me to contact one of our friends about that then?
Would it be hard?
Not at all. I can simply use that spell that I had before. Or that I mentioned before.
Please? She's like trying not to like explode with excitement kind of like situation. She's trying to be polite. These people did something like really awesome for her. But
Alright, give me a sec as I figure out how to word this the best way within 25 words. If people want to do other things while I think of this.
so while he's doing the sending, Sarah's gonna kind of bustle about a bit and be like, "You guys hungry? I could probably make something if there's things to make with."
I could always eat.
So she is going to find whatever cooking supplies you guys have and start setting up a breakfast. Like, I got pretty good at this at least.
Temperance will probably ask her a little bit about, like, she's so sure that her father's going to send somebody after them or after her. Like, ask if she knows of some of the tactics that her father may have used in the past, something we can be on the lookout for. She'll be taking notes.
I don't know. As far as I know, I'm the only one that ever runned away. Probably send Van Hoek after me. And Clayton and Braden. They're my sister's husbands.
Do you get on well with the rest of your family, your sisters?
For the most part, yeah. Most of them was always